Good day, class. Welcome once again to our journey into understanding human behavior. In Unit 1, we discussed what is psychology, and we saw that it is the scientific study of human and animal behavior. Now, a big question arises. How exactly do psychologists study behavior? Is there only one way? No. Just like pastors interpret scriptures differently and mechanics diagnose engine faults in different ways, psychologists also use different approaches to understand the mind. Today, we will explore four major approaches to psychology, their objectives, and the methods psychologists use in research. My name is Adefemi, and I'm your lecturer for today. We are still on the introduction to psychology, and we are on Module 1, Unit 2. At the end of this unit, you should be able to explain some of the approaches to the study of behavior, list the objectives of psychology, and finally describe some of the methods used by psychologists in their research. So, moving further, let's imagine four psychologists are trying to understand why a Nigerian university student is always angry and shouting at people. Each of them will use a different lenses, a different approach. Number one approach is biological approach. This approach believes that behavior is caused by the brain and body chemistry. For example, a person behaving aggressively may not just be wicked, they might have low serotonin levels. Serotonin is a mood chemical. For example, again, a doctor treating depression with antidepressant drugs like Prozac follows this method of biological approach. Have you noticed how some people suddenly change behavior after taking certain herbal mixtures or drugs like tramadol? That is biological or biology influencing behavior. Moving further, number two approach, the psychodynamic approach. Sigmund Freud method. Freud believed that behavior is controlled by hidden memories and unresolved childhood experiences. For example, a man who distrusts women may have been raised by a harsh stepmother without knowing he is projecting that past on others. Freud said the first 5 years of life shape personality greatly. So, for example, a child always told men don't cry may grow up emotionally hardened, not because he wants to, but because his unconscious mind is programmed to believe that men don't cry. Number three approach, the behaviorist approach. This approach only focuses on observable behavior, not internal thought. It says people behave based on rewards and punishment. E.g., a boy disrupts the class anytime he makes trouble, the teacher shouts at him, giving him attention. He loves the attention, so he continues. So, Behaviorists will say, stop rewarding bad behavior. Instead, reward good behavior. Ignore him and, you know, pay attention to those ones who are behaving well in class. Parents who flog children for bad grades but never praise them for good grades are unknowingly reinforcing failure rather than success. Number 4, and the final approach, is the cognitive approach. This approach says behavior is shaped by our thought and interpretation of events. E.g., two job seekers attend an interview. Both get rejected. One says, they hate me, I will never succeed in life, falls into depression. Another says, no problem, I will try another one, and moves forward. So, now, this is example of two personality, who experience the same thing the same time, but their reaction differs. Why? Because of their mindset. Same event, different thinking, different behavior. When NEPA, now called ADC in Abuja, and other names in different places. So when NEPA takes light, some people curse loudly, others quickly, pick up a power bank and continue their work. That is cognitive processing. Alright? So, a brief summary of our approaches. Now, biological approach focus on brain and chemical, right? And the key belief under biological approach is that behavior is physically caused, right? It's physically caused. Now, the psychodynamic approach focus on unconscious mind. Their key belief is that past experience drives behavior. The third approach is behaviorist approach. They focus on observable actions. And their key belief is that reward and punishment shapes behavior. And the final approach is cognitive, and they focus on thoughts and belief. Their key belief is thinking determines behavior. Thinking determines behavior. So, moving further, objectives of psychology. The main goal of psychology are: number 1, to understand behavior. Why do people act the way they do? Number 2, to explain behavior. Develop theories to make sense of it. Number 3, to predict behavior. If A happens, person will likely do B. Number 4, to control and or influence behavior. Help people change for good. So, for example, understanding why youth join internet fraud, yahoo, peer pressure, unemployment, quick cash influence, and so on and so forth. Predicting that if such youth are exposed to skill empowerment and mentorship, behavior may change. Moving further, methods of psychology. Number 1 method, Naturalistic observation. Naturalistic observation is watching people, animals, in their real environment, e.g., observing market women in Balogun market. Number two method, case study. Study one person in details, e.g., a trauma patient. Number three, survey and questionnaire, asking people questions to gather data. Number four, correlational study. This is checking if two things are related, e.g., poverty and crime. Are they related, and how are they related? Number five, experimentation. This is testing cause and effect, and mostly scientific. And number six, tests. IQ tests, aptitude tests, personality tests. Moving further, a class assignment for us, just as usual, and you can drop your response, your answer in the comments section. Explain 4 objectives of psychology. List and describe 4 methods used by psychologists. Okay, that is all for today, students. Have a good day.